Hello everyone. Today I am going to take Standard 8 Science chapter number 2 part 2nd. In our last session we discussed about the friendly microorganism, means their role, their important role in our life. But in this session we discuss about the harmful effect of microorganism. As the chapter name indicates, microorganism friend and foe. Friendly we have already discussed. In this foe means enemy. The microorganisms which are enemy for us, which are harmful for us, they comes under the foe. So today we will discuss about the harmful microorganism, how they are harmful for us. If they are causing diseases to us by the microorganism, if we are having any problem, in that way these are harmful for us. Now the pathogens. The microorganism which causes diseases are termed as pathogens. The microorganism which can cause diseases are known as pathogens. These microorganisms, these harmful microorganisms or pathogens enters in our body by three ways: through food which we are eating, through air that we breathe, and the water that we use to drink. In this way, these microorganisms enters in our body and causes diseases to us. So these microorganisms are transferred from infected person to the healthy person. They are transmitted through air, water and food. Such type of diseases are known as communicable diseases. The diseases which transferred from infected person to a healthy person by air, water and food. Such diseases are known as communicable diseases. For example, common cold, cholera, tuberculosis. Common cold is very common for us. So this is also transferred from one person to a healthy person. Now the next is carrier. As you listen about the malaria. Malaria is a disease which occurs due to the biting of the mosquito. That special type of mosquito is known as Anopheles mosquito. Only this malaria mosquito carries the microorganism. Mosquito is not a microorganism, but it acts as a carrier to transfer from microorganism into a healthy person. And this mosquito is known as female Anopheles mosquito. Only this female Anopheles mosquito serves as a carrier, and it is a carrier of the pathogen that is known as Plasmodium vivax. Now we discuss about some diseases which caused by microorganisms and how they enters in our body. Now the first is polio. You have listened about the polio. This disease is caused by a polio virus and mode of transmission is air and water. When this virus is present in the air or in the water, it can transmit it to a healthy person and cause this disease. Now the next is tuberculosis. Now this tuberculosis is a disease which caused by a Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It is the name of the bacteria which causes this disease, and the mode of transmission of this disease is air. Suppose that in tuberculosis we are having the cough, and when the person infected with this virus cough, it sneezes out the bacteria in the air, and when that air is inhaled by the healthy person, it suffers from these diseases. Now the next is cholera. Cholera is caused by the bacteria. That bacteria is known as Bacterium cholerae, and mode of transmission of this bacteria is water and food. When we drink the infected water or the uncooked food, this bacteria transfer to a healthy person and it causes the cholera. Now the next is typhoid. This typhoid is caused by a bacteria. That bacteria is named as Salmonella typhi, and mode of transmission of this bacteria is water. When we drink the infected water or the contaminated water, this disease can occur. Next is hepatitis A. Hepatitis A is a disease which caused by a virus, and that virus is known as hepatitis A virus, and mode of transmission of this virus is water. Now the next is ringworm. This ringworm is a skin disease or a skin infection, and this disease is caused by a fungus. That fungus is known as trichophyton, and this disease caused by the physical contact. If we wear the uncleaned clothes, then this type of ringworm infection can occur. Yes, now the next topic is general preventive measures. We have discussed about the microorganism which causes diseases. Now, how can we prevent such type of diseases? So, general preventive measures. First of all, the microorganisms are transferred in our body through the food, through air. So, we have to drink boiled water. We have to eat the food which is covered. So we should not eat the uncovered food or contaminated water, so we can be prevented. If we are having, any person is having at home in such type of diseases, so their belongings should be separated. They should be in complete isolation. Now the next is by vaccination. Vaccination we have already discussed in our last session. So in childhood state, the doctor advised for the vaccination. By this vaccination also we can prevent it from such diseases. Now the next is diseases in animal. These microorganisms can cause diseases in animals also. So here are some two diseases. Anthrax. This anthrax is a disease which caused in the animals also, in cattle, and also in the human being. And this disease anthrax is caused by the bacteria, that bacteria named as Bacillus anthracis. Now the next is foot and mouth disease. This disease is also a cattle disease, and this is caused by the virus. That virus is enterovirus. Now diseases in plants. Same in plants also suffer from such type of microorganism diseases. Here are three. First is citrus canker. This disease is caused by bacteria. Next is rust of wheat. This disease is caused by the fungus. Now the last is yellow vein mosaic of bhindi. This disease is caused by the virus. Now next topic is food poisoning. Sometimes when we eat the outside food or the market food, we suffer from a condition. That condition is known as food poisoning. These microorganisms also survive on our food products. When we consume such type of food, means when the microorganisms survive on the food product, it produces the toxic substances or poisonous substance. And when we consume such type of infected food, it causes the serious illness. Even that such type of condition is known as food poisoning. So how can we prevent our food by spoiling from the microorganism? So here are some tips. By that we can preserve our food material. That is known as food preservation. First is preservation by chemical. There are some chemicals named as sodium benzoate. Such type of chemicals we are using to preserve our food material. You have eaten the tomato sauce. In such type of sauce, we can remain it for the 2-3 months. Such type of sauces consist of the chemicals. That chemical is known as sodium benzoate, and these chemicals are known as preservatives. Now the next is preservation by salt. You have seen the pickle. In that pickle, so much amount of salt is there. So salt we can use to preserve our pickles. We can use for preserving the meat. We can also use for preserving the fish also. Now the next is preservation by sugar. Jams, jellies, fruit squashes. In such type of food items, the sugar is mixed to preserve that such type of food products. Now the next is preservation by oil and vinegar. You have eaten the pickle, in there so much amount of vinegar and the oil is used. In such type of condition, the microorganism cannot survive. So we can use the oil and vinegar to preserve our pickles, fish and meat also. Now the next is heat and cold treatment. You have seen your mother, your mother used to boil the milk. By boiling the milk, it kills the microorganism. You have seen the use of refrigerator. You keep the vegetable, fruits in the refrigerator and it can preserve for the 2 to 3 days. So by the heat and the cold treatment also we can preserve our food products. Now in that heat and cold treatment, you have listened about the pasteurization process. In the pasteurization process, the milk is heated up to 70 degrees Celsius for 25 to 30 seconds and then it is suddenly chilled, and after that, that milk is packed and supplied. Now this milk is free from the microorganism. This process of heating and suddenly chilled treatment is known as pasteurization process, and for the first time the scientist named Louis Pasteur discovered this process. Now the next is storage in airtight container. You have seen your mother while storing the dry fruits, snacks, biscuit, namkeen. She is using the airtight container. Airtight container do not allow the air to enter in that and your food product will be preserved for so many days. Now the next topic is heat and cold treatment. You have seen your mother while boiling the milk, she used to kill the microorganism. Then that milk is free from the microorganism. Means that process is known as pasteurization. You have seen in the milk packet or the butter packet, the pasteurized milk or pasteurized butter is written. That means the pasteurization process. In pasteurization process, the milk is boiled up to 70 degrees Celsius for 25 to 30 seconds and after that is suddenly chilled. Then that milk is free from the microorganism. This Pasteur word is derived from the scientist name who discovered this process for the first time, that named Louis Pasteur. Now the next is storage in airtight container. Suppose that dry fruits, snacks, biscuit, your mother used the airtight container to store that. So your food product is be preserved from the microorganisms. Now the last topic of this chapter is nitrogen cycle. This nitrogen is an element which exists in our atmosphere in the form of the gas. So this nitrogen gas in our atmosphere is found in the largest composition, that is the 78% in our atmosphere. This nitrogen gas is present. This nitrogen gas is found in the different type of compounds, and these compounds, these substances are protein, chlorophyll, vitamins and DNA. Now this nitrogen cycle means the series in which it includes the lots of process by which this nitrogen and its compound remain on our earth, remain in our atmosphere in a fixed composition, and it maintains the cycle. So nitrogen cycle is a series of process by which nitrogen and its compounds are interconverted and remain in fixed composition. Now this nitrogen cycle can be explained with the help of the flow chart. Now first, atmospheric nitrogen. This atmospheric nitrogen is 78%. Now this atmospheric nitrogen is taken up by the microorganism, that is bacteria. You have listened about the rhizobium bacteria. This bacteria has the capability to fix the atmospheric nitrogen into the nitrogenous compound. So in this process, the rhizobium bacteria take up the atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into the nitrogenous compound. And these nitrogenous compounds or compounds of nitrogen are present in the soil now. Now the next is the lightning process. During the rainy season, lightning occur, and during this lightning occur, the atmospheric nitrogen is again converted into the different type of compounds of nitrogen, and with help of the rainwater, it mixes with the soil. Now these nitrogenous compounds are present in the soil. These nitrogenous compounds are taken up by the plant. Plants are grown on the soil, and from the soil these nitrogenous compounds are taken up by the plants. Now these nitrogen compounds are present in the plant. These plants are eaten up by the animals. These plants are taken up by the human beings also. Now these nitrogenous compounds are present in the body of plants as well as in the bodies of animals. After the death of the plant, after the death of the animals, this nitrogenous compounds again mixes into the soil. When the plant die, when the animals die, they again mix into the soil, and these nitrogenous compounds come again into the soil. In the soil, again the specific type of microorganisms are there which are having the capability to convert these nitrogenous compounds into the nitrogen gas. Again, these nitrogenous compounds are converted to the nitrogen gas by the bacteria, and this nitrogen gas again come into the atmospheric nitrogen. So in this way, we have started from here. This nitrogen gas is taken up by the bacteria, then by the plants, then by the animals. Again, this nitrogen mix into the soil, and from the soil, the microorganism convert this nitrogenous compounds into the nitrogen gas, and this nitrogen gas is again released into the atmosphere. In this way, this cycle occurs in our nature. We can't see, but it's having the very important role in regulating the nitrogen composition in between living components and the non-living component. So that's all in this chapter. We discussed about the friendly microorganism and the harmful effect of the microorganism. You can see the description box, and for the study material, you can visit our school website. Thank you.